I paid $100 on eBay for this Nintendo Switch that was in a house fire. The outside is pretty gross, but I haven't seen the inside of it yet, so I don't even know if there's a chance we can fix this. I also have this broken Nintendo Switch that's the special edition Pokemon Switch. This one doesn't dock and one of the Joy-Cons is drifting. So let's take a look at this one first and then we'll get to the Housefire Switch. Now the seller said that this does dock sometimes, but they have to like push it in and then pull it back up and stuff like that. A lot of times all you have to do is clean these USB-C ports, so let's take a closer look at that. And of course we can't quite get the best view of it like that. Let's get under a microscope and see if we can see it better that way. And here we are under the microscope, and oh yeah, look at how dirty that port is. That's so bad. So what I'm gonna do is, since this is still connected to the battery and everything, I'm gonna use some BW100. Since BW100 is non-flammable, I'm gonna use some of that and spray in there and then use a toothbrush to clean this port up. So BW100, there we go. And toothbrush. All right, that's working okay. What I'm actually gonna do now is use an iFixit cleaning kit. It's got some plastic brushes and plastic picks that I can use. I don't wanna use a metal pick or anything metal because if I touch two of the pins together, that could go badly. So I'm gonna use plastic and I'm gonna use some of the products in an iFixit cleaning kit. So this is iFixit's Precision Cleaning Kit and it's got just what we need in it. Yeah, this little guy right here, that one will work good. What else do we have? This one might work, that might be too big. This foam tipped cleaning brush will work good. And then we also have this little guy too. So we're gonna use all of those. They also include this little bottle of contact conditioner and cleaner powered by Deoxit. So we'll use that too once we have it all clean. All right, and here we go, we're set up so we can see it in here. I'm gonna use a little bit bigger plastic spudger to just kind of scrape along here very gently. These little pins can bend pretty easily and break pretty easily, so we don't want to go too crazy. Okay, now we'll use this plastic kind of scraper here. That's getting a little bit, not great though. Let's try this guy. It's hard to get a view of this without my finger being in the way. There we go, we're getting it though. Yeah, there we go, that's the ticket. I'm gonna use a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, not a lot. Okay, foam swab. And I can't, oh, I can get that in there a little bit. Not the best though. So I'm gonna go back to this. I wanna get all the way down to the bottom here because sometimes stuff gets jammed in the bottom of this port and really causes a problem, so. Doesn't seem to be too bad on this port, but still good to do while we're here cleaning it. Okay, a little more BW100. This cleaning swab is the ticket for sure. This is getting that area really good. Okay, we'll go in with my brush again. That's getting there. Okay, that is looking much better. I think it's time to put this in the dock and see if that's going to fix it. But first, we do need to clean the port on the dock as well. There's no point in cleaning this port if we don't clean the port on the dock. And there we go with the dock. It is pretty dirty. I think a toothbrush will be able to get this pretty clean. We can get the bristles right down in there, so that's actually looking really good. I am going to kind of clean the bottom of this dock out. It is pretty gross. All right, that is looking way better. I think it's time to test this thing. But first, I almost forgot to put the deoxit on these pins. So I'm going to do that real quick. That's just going to help clean the pins and then keep them clean, make a better connection. So, okay, now it's time to test. Except I can't yet because it needs to charge. Let's take care of the joystick and then we'll test it when we're done with that. The seller said the left stick is the one that drifts. So we'll replace that and then we should be good to go. I will be using a brand new iFixit analog stick for this. These are really good analog sticks and they have a great warranty, so that's why I use them. Now it's been a while since I've opened up a Joy-Con. Luckily they're not too difficult to open up. We got these 4 screws on the back and then you can pry it open. It looks like our switch just fully charged. Or not fully charged, it charged enough to show something on the screen. So we'll get to that here in a minute. I want to get this done first though. And with those removed, let me just kind of pull up on this part. There we go. Now we need to get the battery removed, and then this whole piece right here, this kind of mid-frame needs to be removed as well. Got a little piece of adhesive on the battery. Not too much though. Now we're going to switch to our PH00. And we can remove this piece. And we'll just move it right down here. We don't need to fully take it all the way off. We do have to be careful. This ribbon cable is right here though, so got to be careful of that and make sure we don't mess that up. Need to remove this ribbon cable so we can get to this screw, and then we should be able to get the analog stick out. There we go. And then 1 screw over here. And 1 screw over here. Then the ribbon cable right there. We can pull that out. And there we go. So I'm replacing this with a black one, but the nice thing is iFixit also offers other colors like white. So if you have a white one, you can still get that on at iFixit, because that is what they offer. I've got a bunch of those around actually, because they're not as common, and I ordered a bunch of these a while back, and then the white ones have just kind of been sitting around because I haven't used them. I don't like that these analog sticks commonly go bad in switches, but I do like that they're not too difficult to repair. There we go. Now we'll flip that locking tab down. There we go. All right. Got to connect that ribbon cable before we forget. There we go. Locking tab. There we go. And now this guy can go back up here. Just like that. Now these 3 screws go back in. Okay. Now the battery flips down right here. Stick that back onto the adhesive. Then we can put this thing, kind of slide this black bar right in there. Snap it together. And we just put the screws back on. Then we just put the 4 screws back in the rear shell. And this one is all fixed. Now let's test this switch and see if it works in the dock. Okay, so we'll just take the switch, drop it in. There we go. Green light on the dock. And there we go. We wiggle it around and the picture stays. So all this one needed was the analog stick replaced and a good cleaning, and this special edition switch is all up and running and ready for a new owner. Now let's take a look at the switch that went through a house fire. I can already tell it smells disgusting and there's quite a bit of smoke damage on it, but I'm interested to see what the inside looks like. This view gives you a little better view of what we have going on here. It is pretty, not black, but got some black soot on it, it looks like. Also, the USB port, you can't really see very well, but it's got like some corrosion going on. I think that's what it is around here. So I'm not sure if the whole inside looks like this, that could be a problem, but we won't know till we get it apart. Let's get this thing taken apart. We'll check out the Joy-Cons once we're done with the main console. Seller left a memory card in here. That looks good. No problems there. That's nice. Don't know if that was on purpose or not. These screws in the middle here can be pretty tough to remove, but these ones aren't bad, so that's good. I don't know if this has been taken apart before. So far, it seems like it probably hasn't. A lot of times these screws get stripped out of the plastic, so you can sometimes tell, but so far, I think this might not have been taken apart. All right, and I just need to switch over to the Y00, get these 4 screws out. Some of these screws have kind of like corrosion on them too, so this might not look great on the inside. All right, all the screws are out. Let's take this thing apart. That is not wanting to come apart. There we go. We're getting it. Okay. There we go. All right, so I did get a very large waft of smoke smell when that came off. Nothing too crazy in here. We got a little bit of maybe some evidence of liquid down here. Okay, memory card slot's in good condition. Nothing wrong on that part of the board. Okay, now we can remove the plate and see the true extent of the damage on the inside. Okay. Plate looks pretty normal. And this is a lot better than I thought it would be. At least so far anyway. I mean, you never know the condition of the board in spots, but I think next I'm going to do some testing around the charge chip, look at these pins on the port, and just do kind of an inspection and a cleaning. Oh, I see, maybe some liquid damage up here. Okay, so new plan. I'm going to remove the heat pipe. And actually, I think it's probably going to be better if we just remove this board so we can have a look at the other side just to make sure everything's in really good condition. Let's check the voltage on the battery and just see what that is real quick. We have 0 volts on the battery. Yep, just nothing. Okay. So that might have to be replaced. We'll obviously try to charge it and see if we can get it to come back to life, but sometimes when they get to 0 volts, there's just not much you can do about it. I'm surprised that this is not in worse condition. This really doesn't look too bad so far. But there definitely is a problem up here, so hopefully it's not too bad. I'd really love to fix this. I've been really enjoying these house fire fixes. I've done several PS5s. If you've been following my channel, you've seen those, but it's very interesting to me. Oh yeah. This definitely has a bunch of corrosion going on. I'm glad we're going to take this board out because there could be corrosion down on the bottom side of the board. So, I don't know. All right, now the game slot comes out. And yeah, got some problems there. Maybe some problems on this connector. Yeah, we got some problems there too. Okay, well, this job's getting more difficult the more we take apart. Let's take the fan out just because I want to see the other side of the fan too and just see what condition that's in. Okay, not too bad. Ooh, that fan cable doesn't look great. So right here, it looks like we might have some traces that have been just totally eaten away by corrosion. That's not too surprising, even though it is a little disappointing. I mean, it's just a fan though. That's not too bad. If we can save the board on this, that's the main thing. All the other stuff is replaceable pretty easily. This ribbon cable actually doesn't look too bad. You might be okay with that one. And the display cable also looks fine. That's good. That cable's fine. That cable is fine. And this one is also fine. Okay, now we can get the board out though, have a look at the other side and get a true picture of how bad this is going to be, whether we even think it's fixable. Okay, board's loose. Okay, here we go. What do we think? Is it going to be bad? Hopefully not. Okay. I actually don't see any trace of corrosion on this side so far. But let's get under a microscope and inspect this area up here and see how bad that is. And starting down at the charge port, USB-C port, This actually looks okay from here. I want to check this chip. Charge chip looks okay. Oh, we got a little something going on down here. Yeah, that could be a problem. That definitely needs to be cleaned up. A little more over here. Oh, yeah, that's not good. Over here. Okay, but let's look at the worst part, which is right up here. That's not ideal. Oh, wow. That definitely doesn't look great. A lot of this is just surface, but this is definitely kind of worrisome right in here. The nice thing is a lot of this, it just comes right off, so it's not like baked on here. At least it doesn't seem like it. So got some down here, down here. All right, now I'm just going through and loosening it, and then we'll come through with a brush and clean it all off. Then we can kind of inspect and see how bad the damage is, hopefully. And as I usually say in most of my videos, using a metal pick for this is not the best idea. I do it because that's what I'm used to and that's what really works well for me. But one slip of this metal pick could knock any of these little components off, and that just makes it a lot more difficult to fix. One of the reasons that I still use a metal pick though is even if that happened, I mean, firstly, it's unlikely because I'm very used to this, but even if it did, I do know how to fix it without too much trouble in most cases. So, okay. I think that's pretty good as far as that part. Let's come down here and see. Yeah, some of this is like still moist. You like that word? I need to make a video where I say the word moist as many times as possible. Okay. So a lot of this is pretty loose too. So I think right now I'm going to bring in my brush with some isopropyl alcohol and just give this all a cleaning. And then we'll test some of these components and see if we find any shorts or anything. Just going to brush off kind of the loose pieces first. Yeah, this might not be too bad. All right, now with the IPA. Okay. Let's see if we can see these connections though. Oh, actually, those all look pretty good. Yeah, there's no corrosion on those, so that's good news. Okay, so all of these guys actually look pretty good. I'm not too worried about most of it. I'm not sure if that pad has been torn off. I don't think it has. I think we're okay. I do need to check that though. So we'll check that in a minute. Okay, good down here. Let's clean up those guys right there. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty good. And then down here. And that's coming off pretty well too. Okay, really not bad. Just giving a general check over of the backside, just to see if there's anything that I missed or can't see with just my eyes. Yeah, I think we're good on the backside. All right. So let's check this right over here real quick. So basically we need to make sure that there's continuity between this point and this point right here. I can't tell if this pad is torn off and that tore a part of that trace as well, but a continuity test will tell us that. So we're just going to set our meter on the audible ohms mode. I don't know what that's officially called, but that's what we're calling it today. Ooh, yeah. So we have continuity to there, but not past that. So we need to run a jumper wire from here over to here. and that should restore that. Now these pads look like they're torn off as well, but none of these really matter because they don't go to anything. So we're just going to leave those alone. So I'm going to bring in a jumper wire and go from here to here. And the first thing I'm going to do is flux it up. This flux will just help the solder flow, which is what we need. Then we'll turn on our fume extractor. That gets rid of the smoke from soldering. Sucks it right up. And I'm going to use my soldering pencil to add a little bit of solder right there. Make sure we have fresh solder there. I'm going to burn off the enamel coating of the wire. That's looking pretty good. And there we go. Now let's redo that test from here to here. And there we go. So that's all fixed. Now I'm going to do a little bit of testing on this chip right here to see if anything is shorted there. So this guy right here, it's not shorted. Either is that one. Either is that one. Okay. So we are looking good on this chip. And let's just check these guys real quick. Good. Okay, those guys are all good. Next, we need to clean this port. Let's have a look at the inside and see how bad it is, because on the outside it looks pretty bad. Okay, and the port on the inside actually, it doesn't look nearly as bad as I thought it would. Yeah, that's not bad at all there. This part needs a little bit of cleaning. But other than that, not too bad. So I'm going to try just my toothbrush with some isopropyl alcohol. Yeah, that's actually looking really good. Do a little bit more cleaning here. I'm going to clean up the outside and make that look a little better. When there's corrosion on all of it, it can also kind of break off and contaminate the inside of the port. So I want to just get all of this stuff off of here. That's looking way better. Okay, now the inside of the port looks good. The outside of the port looks good. I think we're ready to put this thing back together and test it. Except I spoke too soon. We got to clean this card reader up and this connector for it. We got to see if this is even good still. So let's get back under the microscope and inspect and clean this guy up. And this is definitely not great. It is pretty loose though, so let's see what happens. Okay. That's really not too bad. I can live with that. Anything else going on here? Nope. That all looks pretty good. Okay. Now with that cleaned up, now I think we can put it back together and see if it happens to work. All right, so I'm gonna put this thing together just enough to test. So I need to start I need to start over with this reassembly and get this part in here. It's been a while since I've reassembled a switch. Okay. And I'm thinking after we test this and make sure it all works, I might send this over to Robert on the Restores channel. He is so good at cleaning these things and showing how to do it that might be the best thing to do with this one. Usually when it doesn't sit all the way down, it's because there's something under it. It should just sit down and there we go. Got it. All right. So the main things I want to test are the screen. So we need to connect that, connect the power button here, and then I will install the game card slot just so we can test that and make sure that works. I'm going to put one screw in the top here. Put these other ribbon cables in just so we can test joycons and stuff like that. All right, now this will go on right here. Okay, there we go. And we use one screw to secure that. Okay, I'm not going to be able to test this very long because I'm not going to have the fan or the heatsink installed, but I do want to check, make sure this thing charges. Okay. Let's see what happens when we plug in a charger. 0.49, and we have a charge indicator on the screen. That means the screen is good. That means the charging system is good. We just got to wait for it to charge up enough to test it. And actually I have a shortcut for that. So what I'm going to do is hook up a new battery, and then we'll be able to test the rest of the system. There we go. Now we can flip it over and see what happens. And starting up. Sound works, screen works. Look at that. Let's see if the Joy-Cons connect. That one does. And that one does. And now I have it just plugged back into the battery that's in the switch, and it's charging at 0.48 amps, which is perfect. That means the charging system is fully working. Now, obviously this switch still needs a full deep cleaning. We've got gunk right here and other places under this board that need to be cleaned really well. We've got the heat sink that needs to be cleaned. And then obviously these Joy-Cons are really disgusting on the outside and maybe even on the inside. I'm gonna put a link to that cleaning video right up on your screen now so you can go hang out with Robert and check this thing out once it's all fully cleaned and put back together. Thanks so much for watching today, and I hope you have a good one.